Alright, right on folks. Welcome to part 6 of the tile shower build. And today I'm going to show you how I installed this perimeter LED lighting here in the shower. This goes around 3 sides of the shower. It is a very unique way to light a shower. No ugly can lights. It's very soft lighting on the eyes. It's dimmable and it has a great elegant and modern look to it. Alright, be sure to keep an eye out for the playlist so you don't miss any of the videos that are part of this tile shower build. I'll put a link to that playlist in the description. Alright, let's get busy and I'll show you how I put in this amazing lighting. Alright, right on. Alright, the next step before I put the ceiling tile on is I want to install my lighting. So what I'm doing in this shower is I'm doing an LED lighting track around the perimeter. I'm just going to do 3 sides, right here, here, and the back wall. So what I've purchased is an aluminum LED track, and this will take an LED strip light. And I have a transformer that will go in the wall here in the junction box, and then I can put it on a dimmer. I'll get more into the specifics of all the LED lighting and the transformer when I install that, but for now, I want to install this track. I'm going to put it up with some silicone. This is 100% silicone, so I'm going to glue this all along the perimeter. All right, here is the aluminum track, and here is the profile that you can see. And then this is a diffuser lens cover that will snap over the top. Now I like this diffuser here because this is nice and thick, and the distance from the bottom of here to the bottom of the diffuser, there's a little bit of distance there so you don't get spotting of the LEDs. They're held back a little bit from the lens, so that makes it into a nice solid color light instead of seeing a bunch of dots. So what I have to do now is I have to cut this track. I'm going to miter the corners, and you can see on the profile here, this is nice that it has this little indent on the side, and that is good because when I glue it up with the silicone, it has a little bit of mechanical grab as well as the adhesive from the silicone. I'm just showing you here, this is where the track is going to go. So up here, and then on this back wall, side wall, whatever you want to call that, and then along the top of this back wall. So I'm just going to do 3 sides, and you can see I have some wire coming out right here that will go to the transformer. This goes through the wall. So I have to put a miter in the corner there, and I also have to drill a little hole or a notch for the wire to come through, and then I'll seal that all up with silicone as well. All right, what I just did was cut a little spacer block to go inside the channel, so when I cut this on a 45, this doesn't deform the shape of the channel. So now I'm just gonna cut this right at a 45 degree. It's a nice cut. That's good to have the backer inside. All right, I'm over at the Bridgeport mill, and I'm just gonna put a hole in the side of this for the wire. Now, if you don't have a Bridgeport mill to make this hole, you're screwed. No, I'm only kidding. You can do this with a cordless drill. Pretty clean now. I don't want any burrs on that because that's right where the wire is going through. All right, now what I'm gonna do is run a little bead of silicone right in this groove. I don't know what I got here. This is GE silicone. It says lifetime on the mold protection. So we'll see how that goes, right? I'll probably see in the comments, oh, we use that in the, you know, got all moldy and the house burned down. All right, I'm also putting a bead right up here on the ceiling as well. thread my wire through. Let's see if I can get this up here without making too big of a mess. That looks great. That looks great. Just to show you up close, I am doing a whole fillet into that grout joint up at the top. I'm just filling that all with silicone, and then I'll put a bead up here on the ceiling, and then I'll put a bead on the back of that track like I did the other one, and that seems like that would be a nice adhesion. This does come with these little end caps. I am putting some silicone on, and I'm just gluing these right on to the end, make a nice seal. Now the LED lighting is all waterproof and sealed on its own. It doesn't necessarily need this to be waterproof as well. All right, there we go, folks. There's our LED lighting track all the way around the perimeter of the shower. I've never done this in a shower, doing the LED track. This is a first for me. I think it's pretty cool. I think this is gonna be really nice lighting as opposed to a big center light up here, some kind of can light or puck light or that type of thing. And this will be great. I can always change out the LEDs later down the road, but I'm really impressed so far. I think this is gonna work out deluxe. Okay, here is the LED magnetic driver that I'm using, and of course I'll put links to all of this stuff in the description. So here I'm gonna show you how I wired that up. All right, this is a pretty easy connection. You can see the input, 120 volts AC, black and white. So here's the black and the white. That's coming in from my dimmer switch. Now the outgoing is the red and the blue. I have that connected to the black and the white, and those two black and white wires run up into the shower inside the lighting track. So pretty easy connection right here. There's a ground wire in the back. All right, here is our LED lighting strip, and we can look here at the label. We are 12 volts DC, 4.8 watts warm white, 3000K, IP68. This is some good waterproof stuff. Supposedly you're supposed to be able to submerge this in a pool. Let's take a closer look. Now you see this has a waterproof jacket that goes over the top of these. This comes with one end already sealed, but you can cut this to any length that you want. Here's the brand name of this, LED My. I'll put a link to this in the description. And if you look up close on this LED lighting strip, you can see every 2 inches, there's a little emblem there of a pair of scissors. That's where you can cut this LED tape. Every 2 inches, you can chop this off. So I have sketched out the lengths that I need. I'm going to cut this. All right, so I've made a little map here of the dimensions that I need to cut. So I'm going to cut my first piece right here. So I'm just taking a pair of scissors, and I'm going to cut this right where the little scissor emblem is. There's our first one. Now I have all the LED strips cut to length, and what I did was I taped them down to this piece of sheet metal here on the table. So now the task is to put some little soldered wires just from jump around the corner here. So this is a flexible corner. Now, since this is sealed in this waterproof casing, I have to cut back the waterproof casing right here above these solder terminals. All right, I'm just making up these little wire jumpers that will go around the corner here. So this is one that will go right here. Zoom in a little bit. So this will go right here, and I'm about to cut another one. An important thing is to make sure you have the positive lined up with the positive, the negative lined up with the negative. So I'm gonna make another little jumper that goes right here. First, I'm just gonna strip a tiny bit off the end. I do like this style of wire stripper for this. See right there, I'm grabbing on to about 1/8 of an inch. That's how much insulation I stripped off. Okay, now I'm gonna tin the tips of these little jumper wires. So I'm just cleaning the tip of the soldering gun on the sponge. I'm gonna put a little bit of solder right there and just hold this to the tip of the wire, under the wire. That's it, just tin the wire real quick like that. All right, there's one corner done. Now I'm gonna go do the other corner. Okay, this corner is a little bit different. Now this came factory made up, already soldered on, so I just cut these down short and I made these little angle jumpers that will come around, and this will get soldered down to this one, but I also need to solder in a couple jumpers for the power supply. Okay, see what I've got going on here? So this here on the positive, I got this tied to a jumper that will go out to our power supply, but it will also jump as our little corner jumper, same with the negative. So I've twisted those together, and now I'm just gonna tin the ends of these wires together. Now I've got some liquid electrical tape. I got it in white here, and so I'm just gonna put a little dab on top of these solder connections, and then I'll untape this and I'll do this from the bottom as well, but this is nice just to get this coated. And I switched to a little bit stiffer brush, an acid brush. Quick tip of the day, I used a little thin super glue just along the edge right here. That way the bristles don't fall out when you're using it. And so now, this brush that was in the can was like, felt like it was 3 inches wide. So this is nice. I can do a little bit more detailed work. And then this whole thing will get encased in silicone up in the ceiling. I'll do the same to this connection here. Just a little bit of the liquid electrical tape. All right, now I've just slid a little piece of heat shrink. I'm gonna come in with this little heat shrink gun. I did put more of the electrical tape, liquid electrical tape on the bottom. All right, that's a good looking little corner. And again, that whole thing will get encased in silicone and sealed up so no moisture gets in there. Okay, these LED strips did come with these little silicone type caps. I did fill this with 100% silicone. Now I'm just gonna slip this over the end and make that a nice waterproof seal. All right, folks, it's the moment of truth. I hooked up a temporary pigtail just to check and make sure the solder joints are all that. So, all right, there we go. That's always a relief when it lights up. All right, let's go install this in the shower. Back here in the shower, I've got my 2 leads coming out of the corner. Now, this LED lighting strip is adhesive backed. There is some adhesive. I'm gonna peel that off, stick it up there, but I'm gonna go an extra step. I'm gonna add some silicone along the sides afterwards and kind of trap it up there with that silicone so it doesn't fall down. The leads coming in here in the corner, I soldered those wires and then I slid on some heat shrink tubing that has adhesive in the inside. And after I heated that up, I just pinched the ends and I think that's a nice seal and a nice connection. Now I'm gonna stuff those up into the silicone and try to hold them to either side of the LED lights. It's time to trim these lens covers for the LED lighting. Holy Macaroni, did you see that? Let's watch it again in slow motion. You know, sometimes you get these reminders in the shop, you gotta clamp things down, or this should probably be cut with a hand miter saw, not on the power saw. I changed it around here and I clamped it down with a board, but probably should be cut by hand with a little hand saw. Okay, I just installed this dimmer. Now this is a Lutron dimmer, and it looks like a regular dimmer, but it's actually a magnetic low voltage dimmer. So this is the kind of dimmer that you have to get to use with that magnetic driver transformer for the 12 volts. All right, here we go. A little drum roll. Let's see what kind of lighting we got. I'm gonna throw the switch. All right. Awesome, look at that lighting. That looks absolutely deluxe. And I have it on the dimmer so we can bring this way down low. Look at that. All right, let's take a close up look at the lighting. And boy, I think that lens diffuser cover worked out just marvelous. You're not seeing any of the spotting of the LEDs. It looks like one continuous light. You can see here, I wish I could have run it just a little bit longer. There's a tiny dark spot on the end. And then right here, where I made those connections with the wires, you can kind of see the wires hanging there. I think I might try to make those even shorter. But for the most part, this just looks awesome. I am really excited how this LED lighting turned out. It's nice and soft here in this bathroom, and that's exactly what I want. You don't want to go in there, get blasted in the eyes with some super bright light. And there's no can light in the center of the ceiling. This is going around the perimeter. I just love it. I think this is a super nice design for lighting in a shower like this. Look how soft this lighting is. It's just so nice. You know, if it's nighttime and you want to go to bed and you want to take a shower right before bed, you don't want those bright lights in your eyes. This is just so soothing. All right, totally deluxe.
Hey there, baby. Let me show you my LED shower lighting. You ever seen lighting so soft?
What was that? The voice of Barry White? What was that? All right. Well, be sure to stay tuned for the next installment here, part 7, where I cover installing the shower floor. I install a non-slip tile on the shower floor, a nice hexagon pattern. You're going to want to see that part of this series. Alright, I hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you all soon. Lots of love. Right on.
Watch your top knot.